JavaScript array methods in a few minutes or less. Alright devs, today we're going to be looking at push. The push method in JavaScript is used to add one or more elements to the end of an array. Not to the beginning, not to a specific index. It simply just adds whatever we pass into it to the end of an array. But devs, before we look at any code, here are 3 quick facts about push. Number 1 is modifies the original array. The push method does modify the array it's called on. It adds elements to the end of the array and changes its length accordingly. So yes, it does modify or mutates the original array. So something to keep in mind. Number 2 is the return value. After adding elements, the push method simply returns the new length of the array with the new items we passed into it included. So this can be useful if you want to keep track of how many elements are in an array after the addition. And lastly, number 3, adding multiple elements. You can use the push method to add multiple elements at once by passing them as arguments to the method. This makes it convenient for appending several elements to an array even if they're different data types. So you can actually use push to add on additional strings, numbers, Boolean values, even entire objects, you name it. But devs, enough of that, let's look at some code. Alright, so push is fairly simple, so these examples won't be too complex, but we have the array fruits here, which just equals a couple of strings of fruits. And let's say for whatever reason we want to add to fruits. Well, since we have reference to fruits, we can type that down here. We're going to hit it with push, and then we simply pass in what we want to add to our string. So in this case, let's do mango. And then let's log fruits to the console, and we'll open that up and we see mango has been added to the end of our array. That's it, super easy, super simple, super convenient. But push lets you add multiple items to an array. So in this example, we have numbers, which just equals a string of 3 numbers. We've got 1, 2, 3, let's say we want to add 4, 5, 6. We can take numbers, type numbers down here, hit it with our push method, and just pass in 4, 5, and 6. Let's log numbers to the console. And you can see we got our 3 new items appended to the end of the array. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Again, super simple, super easy. So those were 2 super simple examples. Let's look at one more that uses different data types. So in this example, we have items. And items equals an array of a couple of different data types. We have a number, we have a string, and we have a Boolean value of true. So let's say we're putting together an array that contains a bunch of different data types, including some objects as well. So let's take items, type that down here. We're gonna hit it with push, and let's add a new number. Let's do a new string. Let's do another Boolean value. We'll do false. And you know what? Let's just bake in an entire object. Let's say this object is gonna be let's say a person. So we'll give them a name, an age, and their location. Now let's log items to the console and see what we get. And we'll open that up, and we still have 5, Bob, and true. We have our 3 new values, as well as our entire object that gets printed out to the console. So with push, you can add multiple items of different data types, even entire objects. But this is getting a little congested, so let's clean this up a bit. Let's do a light refactor and actually break this guy out. We'll backfill this and we'll just call it person. This doesn't exist yet. And we'll build person out here in its own variable. And that will just equal our object. And we'll open this up, and you can see we still have our object here appended to the end. This is a little bit cleaner. We just have more separation of concerns with our person variable stored up here. And that about does it. That was the push array method in JavaScript. Super simple, super convenient. Let's say you're aggregating data and you're hitting an API and you want to build that onto an existing array. Push is the perfect method to use. But devs, I will catch you all in the next one. Definitely make sure to click event that like button. If you're feeling chatty, leave a comment, and as always, if you want to support the channel, don't forget to